Okay, I'm so sorry. I don't have a tripod for a phone. I have it for like a big camera, so I'm just kind of struggling a bit. But anyway, welcome to my bookshelf tour. I made these with my own bare hands. I had some help, obviously, but anyway, built these and stained them and everything. This lovely dark colour. Love this colour. I spent like 30 minutes in the store trying to figure out which colour I wanted, and I think I picked the right one. So yeah, I don't know if I'm gonna say the name of every book or the name of every series. I guess I'll figure out just when I'm filming what is working the best. So yes, I'm gonna start at the top and then go slowly to the bottom. At the top, I'm gonna have to like use my hands because my tripod doesn't go up that high. So sorry if the camera is very shaky. I do not have steady hands whatsoever. I'll try and be quick on the top ones so then when we get to the bottom ones, the camera will be more steady. So yeah, we're gonna start up here with my favourite author of all time, Robin Hobb. All-time favourite author, all-time favourite series. Let's start up there. Okay, so we're gonna start up here. Also, sorry if you can hear my loud breathing. Apologies, I did just go on a bike ride and I'm like still out of breath. So here on the side we have my jewellery. Then there's this crochet like leaf thing my sister made for me, which is hanging at the top. And then at the top we just have some dried flowers, a disgusting photo of me from school, and this which I got when I was like 6. And it's been in my room ever since. Okay, here we have the glorious Robin Hobb. This series is called the Realm of the Elderlings series, and it starts with these books, which is the Farseer trilogy. We have, what are the names of the? Assassin's Apprentice, Royal Assassin, and Assassin's Quest. I just have 2 copies of the first one. Then we have the Live Ship Traders, which is Ship of Magic, Ship of Destiny, and the Mad Ship. After the Live Ship Traders, we get to, I think this is the Tawny Man. Yeah, Tawny Man trilogy, and we have Fool's Errand, The Golden Fool, and Fool's Fate. This made me sob my eyes out. Then we have the Rainwild Chronicles. I only have 3 of them, but there are 4, and I'm currently reading this one, I think. I just put it back on the shelf, so it would be the complete series. I still need 1 more. And then this isn't part of the Realm of the Eldlings, and I've only read the first one, Shaman's Crossing, but I think it's called, damn, what is it called? Oh, the Soldier Sun trilogy. I did enjoy the first one so much, and I don't think I'm going to continue with that series, but the rest of these are incredible, and I highly recommend to anyone who loves fantasy. So moving across from this top shelf, we move on to here. Actually, should I go down or should I go across? I think we're going to go across, it makes more sense. The Shatter Me series, so Shatter Me, Unravel Me, Ignite Me, blah 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 blah. This one has one of my favourite book quotes of all time in it. If you know, you know. Then we have the Scythe trilogy. I think this, why can I never remember the names? There is a name for these, but I can't remember. I love these books. Also, these 4 Shatter Me's are so annotated. Look at that. I annotated the shit out of these. Loved them. Then we have the Chaos Walking series by Patrick Ness, which I read when I was like 13 and actually scarred me for life. But I do highly recommend them. They're very good books. Then we have these 2 random like sci-fi dystopian books, Illuminate or Alumni, I'm not sure, and The Fifth Wave, which I haven't read. I bought them just mainly for my sister because she loves those kind of books. Then we have a classic, of course, the Maze Runner series, a Legend series by Marie Lu, which I'm obsessed with. Love it. Then we have These Broken Stars and The Glacier. The Glacier freaked me out, but I loved it. So yes, that is that shelf. Here we have, in all her glory, the Throne of Glass series. I am a huge Sarah J Maas fan, and I devoured these. This last one is like 900, almost 1,000 pages, longest book I've ever read. And you start with Throne of Glass, Crown of Midnight, Heir of Fire, Queen of Shadow, Empire of Storms, and then Kingdom of Ash. And then here we have The Assassin's Blade, which is like a prequel to the rest of the series. Love this, obsessed with the main character. Then we have some more Sarah J Maas. We have A Court of Thorns and Roses, Court of Mist and Fury, A Court of Wings and Ruin, and A Court of Frost and Starlight. I have this like cute little necklace thing, which I just thought matched the aesthetic of the books, so I I'm keeping that there. It's very interesting looking like this. Then we have House of Earth and Blood. I don't have the other two in the series yet. I'm waiting for the last book that came out to come out in like the small paperback version. Then we have the Three Dark Crowns series, which I'm obsessed with. I'm reading this one currently. I'm on the second one. It's Three Dark Thrones, One Dark Throne. No, 3 Dark Crowns, 1 Dark Throne, 2 Dark Reigns, and 5 Dark Fates. It really bothers me that there's not like a 4, because you know it's like going 1, 2, 3. There should be a 4, but anyways. How pretty are these? I love them. I really recommend this series. It's great. And then this is like, again, a little prequel. These absolute bricks of books. The Priory of the Orange Tree and A Day of Fallen Night. I have only read the first one and I really enjoyed it, although it was very confusing for the first couple hundred pages. I have yet to read this one. I just can't really seem to get into it. Every time I open it, I'm like, this one ended fine, and I don't really feel like there needs to be another one, but I know I will definitely read it at some point. Okay, my arms are actually killing me. Moving on, we have the Windsinger trilogy. Now, no one I've ever met, or like I never see people talking about these books. I read them, I think I was in grade 5 when I read this series, and I've been obsessed with it ever since. I've like reread it multiple times. It's The Windsinger, Slaves of the Mastery, and Firesong, and I don't know, I don't know if they're bad. Like, I genuinely think it's just nostalgic to me because I read it when I was so young and I was so obsessed with it, but every time I read it, I'm like, wow, this is actually so dark. Who gave, like, 10-year-old me this thing to read, this book? Like, who gave 10-year-old me this book? I absolutely not, but I'm obsessed with it and I really recommend it. And we have my, like YA, very young YA, sci-fi, fantasy, what's this called? What's dystopian? Obviously we have Divergent and The Darkest Minds, all those kind of things. I have in fact started my Stephen King collection. The first Stephen King I ever read is 11/22/63 and I rated it 5 stars. I was obsessed. Then I read this one, which was 3 stars, and this one, which was like 3.5. But I'm really planning on reading more Stephen King because I am obsessed with his writing. And then here we just have The Time Traveler's Wife, which I have started to read, but it's just it kind of freaks me out. Like, I think I get like 50 pages in, and then I start to actually think about what I'm reading, and it kind of just freaks me out a little bit. Like, I'm not quite sure how I feel about the plot, so I doubt I'm going to be reading that anytime soon, but we're going to keep it there anyway. And then we have a shell and a photo frame of my grandparents, which I'm not going to put on here. Okay, I finally got to a place where I can use the tripod, so this is going to be way more steady now, and I apologise for like the past 10 minutes of this video. Here we have my obsession with Marissa Meyer. I love Marissa Meyer with like everything I have. One of my favourite authors of all time. We have the Lunar Chronicles, which is Cinder, Scarlet, Cress, and Winter, and they're basically fairy tale retellings, but they are incredible. And this last book, There Were Tears, I love this book, and it is ginormously floppy and I'm obsessed with it. And then there's just a random bookmark. Then we have the Renegade series. There's Renegades, Arch Enemies, and Supernova. I did read the first 2, but I never did finish the last one, and I'm not exactly sure why. I do want to finish it, but I don't want to reread these 2 first because I wasn't like in love with them. Like, they were like 3.5 star reads, and I don't feel like rereading them, but also I can't remember anything from them. So this one has just been here for like a couple of years now, and I doubt I'm ever going to read it, but it's there. Then we have the Cursed and Gilded duology. I have not been seeing anyone talking about these. I think she came out with them like quite recently. Like, I'm not sure if it was like 2021 or something. Let me just look. And I never saw, yeah, it was 2022, so it was very recently. It came out in like the past 2 years, these 2. And I've never seen anyone talking about them, and I don't understand why, because they are so good. And like those frayed edges, incredible. I love it. I'm actually gonna put them on display because I love that. Then we have Heartless, also by Marissa Meyer. I love that book. It's a Alice in Wonderland, like fairy tale retelling kind of thing. Here we have some V.E. Schwab. We have The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue, which absolutely broke my heart, tore it in half, like stomped on it and stabbed it, and like buried it 6 feet under. That was very dramatic, but that book is my everything. I'm obsessed. Then we have The Dark Vault, also by V.E. Schwab. I have more V.E. Schwab somewhere else, but I'm not sure where I put her. think it's on the shelf below. And I was obsessed with the boy in this book, Wesley, I think his name was. I loved him. Sorcery of Thorns by Margaret Rogerson. And this book is worth every bit of hype it has ever received. And I really want to read the other books she's written. I think it's something about ravens. The thing of the ravens. Then we have the Cruel Prince series by Holly Black, which is The Cruel Prince, The Wicked King, and The Queen of Nothing. Love this series. I'm not like super obsessed with it. I do need to reread it because I read it so long ago I like can't even remember anything about it. But I just know I liked it. Here we have like a little candle holder and little jewelry box that I've had since I was like 12. So yeah. Then we have Stephanie Garber. This is one of my favorite series of all time, Caraval, Legend, and Finale. I love this series with all of my heart. Look at that cover, so cute. It's so whimsical, and I know people have a lot to say about how badly written and stuff it was, but for me it's just very nostalgic, and like it feels like a fairy tale that you think, like you want to be in a fairy tale. What am I trying to say? You know when you're like 5 and you want to live in a fairy tale world? That's what that is. It is that fairy tale world. Then we have Once Upon a Broken Heart and The Ballad of Never After. I still haven't bought The Curse for True Love. Oh my goodness. Okay, then we have my romance shelf. Now, I only started reading romance like a year and a half ago, maybe. Before that, I just didn't read romance. I just didn't think it was for me. But since then, I have obviously wisened up and I have a good selection of romance books now. We have Emily Henry, one of my favourite authors. If I see a book by Emily Henry in the store, it's like automatically I'm buying it. And I only have 3 of her books, Book Lovers, Beach Read, and You and Me on Vacation, but I really want to read Happy Place, and I think the other one is called It's a Funny Story, maybe? I'm not quite sure. Then we have Taylor Jenkins Reid, my all-time favourite romance author. If I want to read a romance, Taylor Jenkins Reid is my go-to. I am obsessed with her books. I cannot pick a favourite. Probably Malibu Rising or Daisy Jones, but then also The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo is also really good. One True Loves is the only one I didn't really like, and Carrie Soto is Back was also amazing. Then, yes, unfortunately I have a weakness. I did buy an Ali Hazelwood book. This is Love on the Brain by Ali Hazelwood, and I saw it in a secondhand shop and I couldn't resist because I had to know what the hype was about. Now, I did rate this 4 stars, but my Goodreads review of this was absolutely scathing. I did not like it. Horribly written, horribly tropey, like the girl is very small and the man is very big. Then we have The 7-Year Slip by Ashley Poston. I'm obsessed with this cover. I love it. And I can't really say much for this other than it broke my heart and it was really cute. Definitely want to read more by her. Then we have The Summer Switch Off by Beth Reclays. I don't know. I think she's the one who wrote The Kissing Booth. I'm not sure. Wasn't great. Wasn't bad though. Then we have The Flat Share, which I absolutely loved. Then on this side we have more younger, like YA romances. We have Love and Gelato, We Were Liars, You for Each Sam, which I didn't like, The Lost Apothecary, the Summer I Turned Pretty series, which don't even get me started on this. Hate it. The Summer of Broken Rules, The Summer of Lost Letters, Kisses and Croissants, Maybe Meant to Be, Aristotle and Dante Discover the Secrets of the Universe, and Tweet Cute. Then we have another fantasy shelf. We have the Shadow and Bone series, which is Shadow and Bone, Siege and Storm, and Ruin and Rising by Leigh Bardugo. And then we also have Six of Crows and Crooked Kingdom, which I loved. Then 2 books which need way more hype is The Daughter of the Pirate King and Daughter of the Siren Queen. I love these. It's by Trisha Levenseller, who I also think wrote The Shadows Between Us, if I'm not wrong. Then we have The Dance of Thieves duology by Mary E. Pearson and Vow of Thieves, Obsessed. Then we have Fable and Namesake by Adrienne Young, which were like a cheaper, like off-brand version of these 2, so I don't recommend these 2 as much as I do this. This kind of just felt like a knockoff. Like this series I do need to talk about. The Crown's Game and The Crown's Fate by Evelyn Skye. I need people to obsess over these books because they are so good. It takes place in Russia. There's 2 enchanters, an enchanter and an enchantress, and they have to compete to like be the enchanter for the kingdom. And it's so good. Set in Russia. Obsessed. And then we have The Prison Healer and The Gilded Cage by Lynette Noni. I do not have the third one because honestly, I just didn't care. By the end of that book, I was just kind of pissed off. I didn't like it. So I haven't bought the third one. I might finish it one day, but it's not very likely. Then we have the Selection series, which is The Selection, The Elite, The One, The Heir, and The Crown by Kiera Cass, which I'm not too fond of. They just seem very childish to me. I probably would have enjoyed them if I was younger, but then again, I did give them to my 12-year-old sister and she didn't like them either. So I think maybe they're just very young, like maybe a 10-year-old would enjoy this. The Red Queen series by Victoria Aveyard, didn't even finish the last one because I was bored. And the rest of the series was just, I didn't like it. Oh, here's V.E. Schwab. A Dark Shade of Magic, A Gathering of Shadows, and A Conjuring of Light, which I'm obsessed with this series. The last one did disappoint me slightly, like I wasn't obsessed with the last one, but I have reread it like multiple times and I do love this entire series with all my heart. Oh my goodness, don't even get me started on Fourth Wing by Rebecca Yarros. I hate that book and we are moving on. Here's one of my favourite shelves, which is my like murder mystery / thriller shelf. I have no idea what this is or why it is there or where it came from, but she's there, so she just stays there. Lisa Jewell, None of This Is True, I liked, and Invisible Girl, I haven't read yet. Then we have When I Was 10, The Perfect Wife, All in Her Head, which I have read those and gave them like 3.5 stars. They're just like pretty standard thrillers. Then we have Gone Girl, which I haven't read. The Silent Patient, very good. When They Find Her, disappointing. Panic Room, The Housemaid, Murder in the Family, which was very confusing. Rock, Paper, Scissors, My Lovely Wife, and a dice. I don't know why that's there. Then we have the Millennium series by Stieg Larsson, which I haven't read yet. Then we have All the Bright Places, The Perks of Being a Wallflower, The Fault in Our Stars, Looking for Alaska, Paper Towns, and Turtles All the Way Down. Most of these are by John Green, and most of them I really enjoyed. Cool vintage camera. I had an obsession with these when I was younger, and I had like a whole collection, and this is one of the only ones I kept because it was just in such good condition, so that just stays there. Moving down again, we have my Harry Potters. I'm pretty sure everyone knows what the names of those are. Then we have A Curse So Dark and Lonely, which I read the first one and didn't like it that much. I haven't bothered with the rest of the series. Good Omens, We Hunt the Flame, The Atlas Six, and Children of Blood and Bone. All 4 of these are books that I have started reading but DNF'd, and I might read them at some point in the future, but probably not. So these are all just sat here just in case I'm really bored one day and have like nothing to read. They're like my backup books, but I don't actually really plan on reading them. They're just kind of there. 4 Dead Queens and some Cassandra Clare. I have read this entire Mortal, what is it called? The Mortal Instruments series. Enjoyed it, and then I haven't read these ones yet. We have another mystery / thriller shelf. Here we have one of my favourite authors, Holly Jackson. We have 5 Survive, The Reappearance of Rachel Price, which I read recently. It came out like a couple weeks ago, maybe a couple months ago, and I really enjoyed it. And then we obviously have the Good Girls Guide to Murder series, which is Good Girls Guide to Murder, Good Girl Bad Blood, and As Good as Dead. Truly Devious series by Maureen Johnson. Obsessed. This takes place in like a boarding school for gifted children, and Stevie Bell goes to this school to like solve mysteries, murders that happened there like 100 years prior. Very, very good. We have One of Us is Lying by Karen M. McManus. If you know me, you know I hate Karen M. McManus. Not her personally, but her books. So I read these 2, and then I just vowed never to read one of her books again because I don't like the writing style, and yeah, I'm just not too keen on them. These are 2, the wrong way around. The Inheritance Games and The Hawthorne Legacy by Jennifer Lynn Barnes. There is a 3rd book in this series, but I never did buy it because honestly, they were good, but they weren't that good, and I just don't care about reading the last one. And my sister did read the last one, and she said it wasn't very good, so I'm just leaving it at this. Then we have This Lie Will Kill You, The Hunting Party, Rebecca, Stalking Jack the Ripper, which I know is a very popular book, but I just didn't enjoy it. Paper Dolls, which is, in one word, disturbing. These 2 random books, which I used to read when I was little. Then we have some sad books over here. these are like my sad books. We have Stephen King, I think this one's The Green Mile, A Theatre of Dreamers, Where the Crawdads Sing, My Brilliant Friend, The Book Thief, which I love, The Beekeeper of Aleppo, The Nightingale by Kristen Hanna, which I also loved, The Boy in the Striped Pajamas. Then we have some Friedrich Bachmann, which is A Man Called Ove and Anxious People. I really highly recommend Anxious People. I love this book. And then we have When All Is Said by Anne Griffin, which is very, very sad, and I liked it a lot. Okay, then we have my Percy Jackson shelf, my Rick Riordan shelf. We have the Heroes of Olympus series, and no, that's the Heroes of Olympus, and this is Percy Jackson and the Olympians, which I'm obsessed with that series. I think this whole shelf is pretty much Greek mythology. I think one is Norse mythology, but most of it is Greek mythology. We have some Madeline Miller, which is The Song of Achilles and Circe. You know what, I'm gonna put a picture of me when I finished this book up on the screen. Safe to say I was devastated. Then we have Daughter of Darkness, which I bought just for the cover because look at that, it's stunning. How can you not buy that? But I don't think I actually plan on reading it. That's a bad habit. I need to stop doing that. Buying books that are pretty, but I don't want to read them. And we just have some more Rick Riordan, like Magnus Chase, Kane Chronicles, Trials of Apollo, and one Neil Gaiman book, which is Norse mythology. Also, I thought I should just show you these. I made these. I used to take some pottery classes. This one I keep my hair ties in, and this one I keep my change in. I made these with my own hands. Love that. Okay, this is extremely embarrassing, but we have my Twilight shelf. I am missing the first book in Twilight because my sister's reading it. She's 13, so I thought it was time I give her the Twilight book, you know. It's a rite of passage to go through your Twilight phase when you're 13, and so as her older sister, I was like, girl, we're reading Twilight. I don't know, keys, no idea what they're for. So I have the movie cover, then we have, obviously, these ones. I think this is actually just like an entire vampire shelf. And I am so sorry that the lighting is so bad. We have The Short Second Life of Britannia, and I'm so embarrassed to say that I have this, but the Twilight graphic novel. Terrible, terrible book, but it's there. And then we have the Vampire Academy series by Rochelle Mead, which I'm obsessed with. If you haven't read Vampire Academy, what are you doing? Okay, we're down at the bottom shelf. Sorry about the lighting and also about the shaking. My tripod doesn't go down this low. We have a photo album and some film. Then I think that's the first Game of Thrones book. Yep. We have the Night Circus by Erin Morgenstein, which I hated. We have the entire Outlander series, or almost all of it. I love the show, so had to get the books, of course. A couple random books. We have Moby Dick, The Goldfinch by Donna Tartt, The Snow Child, one of my all-time favourite winter books, and then we have like a Charles Dickens over there. And then here we have my entire classic shelf. I don't think I'm going to go through every single one, just the ones that are significant. We have 2 copies of The Secret History by Donna Tartt, obviously. This copy of Little Women I stole from my primary school like 6 years ago. Came home with me and never went back. We have this cute copy of Alice in the Wonderland, and then just a bunch of random classics. This one's important. This one is a copy of The Swiss Family Robinson that's like 115, maybe 120 years old. Got that for like my 13th birthday. Then we just have some more random classics. Jane Eyre is one of my all-time favourite classics. I have a lot of copies of that. By a lot, I mean like 3. Some A Princess Diana book, and How to Be a Victorian by Ruth Goodman. There's 2 poetry books here. A Literary Christmas is one of my favourites. The Boy Who Never Gave Up is a book my mum bought to read. She never read it, so I did. And then a horseback riding book from my horseback riding phase, and a book about the cradle of life. Okay, I'm down here on the floor, and I just finished the bookshelf tour, and I'm so out of breath and so thirsty from talking so much. Last thing I want to show off is this cute bracelet I bought yesterday. I have no idea what that's supposed to be. My mom says it looks like a pizza, but cute anyways. So thank you very much for watching my bookshelf video. I can't be bothered to stand up right now because I'm tired. I think after this I might just like nap here on the floor. Anyway, thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Please like, subscribe, leave a comment of your favorite books, and I'll see you next time.